Well, we've done the half crown and we've done the florin, so I guess that means it's time to find out how many shillings it takes to make 1 troy ounce of fine silver. Hello and a very warm welcome back to the channel. So once again, I've had the calculator back out because it's time to find out how many of these it takes to make 1 troy ounce of fine silver. So once again, there's 2 coins to consider, which is the 1920 to the 1946 500 silver shilling, just like this one right here, and also the pre-1920 925 sterling silver shilling, which once again, unfortunately, I don't actually have. But that being the case, we can still go on the information and we can still find out how many of those it would take to make a troy ounce of fine silver. Now, to change things up a little bit, we are going to be starting off with the pre-1920s 925 sterling silver shilling this time. And as you can see, this isn't one of those, but I'm using this because it does have the same design as the pre-1920 shilling. And as you can see right there, we have the crowned lion stood atop a crown as designed by George William de Soules. And if we have a quick look at the legend around the coin, we can see that it reads, Fid Def Ind Imp 1 shilling, and that of course would translate to Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India, and 1 shilling, with the date 1922 astride the crown there. Okay, so if we have a quick look at the obverse of a coin, we can see the Sir Bertram Edgar McCulloch depiction of King George V there, and the legend around the coin reads Georges V. de Gras Brit en Rex, which of course would translate to George V, by grace of God, King of all Britons. Okay, so if we go on the weight provided by the Royal Mint for these coins, which is to be precise, it's 5.655 grams, but I'll be using 2 decimal places, so it'll be 5.66 grams we'll be using today. And as this is 925 silver, that does give us a fine silver content per coin of 5.23 grams. Okay, so if we look at ounces, what that means, basically, for every 6 of these shillings, it equates to 31.38 grams, which, as you can see, is pretty much on the nose of 1 troy ounce, which is 31.103 grams. So, yeah, as you can see, that's 6 of these per the gram. So, if we look at the price of one of these coins, once again, as before, condition is king when it comes to the coin, but on an average basis, for a not particularly rare year, a very general year, you would probably be looking for a decent price to be paying somewhere in the region of £6 to £13 for one of these coins. So definitely not the cheapest way, but a lovely coin nonetheless. So that leads us on to the 500 silver shilling. As you can see, I have one here from 1942. And this here has the George Kruger Grey design of a crowned lion astride a crown. And as you can see, it is very, very similar to the previous one, but it is very slightly different, I can assure you. And the legend around the coin again reads Fid Def Ind Imp 1 shilling, which once again would translate to Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India, and 1 shilling. And if we have a quick look at the obverse of a coin there, we can see we have the Thomas Humphrey Paget depiction of King George VI, with a legend around the coin reading Georges V.I. D.G. B.R. on Rex. And once again, that would translate to George VI, by grace of God, and King of all Britons. And around the coin, you can see there is beading, and that's the little notches you can see just around the edge of the coin there. And if I flip it to its side, you can see there are reeds in the coin, that's known as milling. And those are both not counterfeit measures. They're measures to stop what's known as clipping the coin. And clipping is when people would shave just a little tiny bit off the edge of each coin. And once they did that to enough coins, it would amount to a little bit of silver they could melt down and then go and trade in. So what the coin producers did, what the mints did, is they started to put these details around the edge of a coin. And what that would mean is you would easily see if somebody had removed a little bit of the metal from the edge of the coin, because it would make a big disturbance in the pattern there. So that's just a little fun fact for you regarding old coins. But if we look at the silver content of a coin, and once again, this weighs 5.66 grams, And with this being 500 silver, that gives us a fine silver content per coin of 2.83 grams. Okay, and that means it would take 11 of these coins to give us 31.13 grams. Now, that is pretty much exactly on the nose of 31.103 grams. So that's pretty much exactly 11 500 silver shillings to make 1 troy ounce of fine silver. And going on to the price of these, they are a little more on the cheaper side than the 925 silver shillings. One of these coins, depending on the condition, you can look to pick up for between £3 to £8. So that's pretty much it regarding how many shillings it takes to make a fine troy ounce of silver. But stay tuned, because next time we'll be having a look at how many of these lucky silver sixpences it would take to make a troy ounce of fine silver. So I'll definitely be bringing that video out very soon, hopefully within the next few days. But until then, as always, keep stacking, take care, and goodbye.